Hello, this is the Chittering Fatman. It's episode 6 and it's talking about animated maps. Right, I'm going to show you how a couple of web pages that I have written works and how you can get the best out of them. At the moment you need to open them in Internet Explorer because for some reason I've done something stupid and it's stopped them working in other browsers. I will correct that very shortly. Now, to start off, I'm going to show you something that I've got around my neck, and it's a credit card sized little GPS data recorder, and I just keep it stuffed in my shirt and it'll record wherever I move to whilst I'm wearing it. So now we'll get on with the demonstration of the web pages itself. Right, I'm going to start by showing you a page from Buyer's blog, and you can see it's the URL is there, and it's at the bottom of your page when you finish looking at this. Now this is all about me getting the travel recorder that you've seen. It tells you where to get it from and all the rest of it. So that's what that's all in aid of. So now I'm going into the actual animated mappery itself, and I'm going to show you this one. We've got 4 routes, 4 journeys, that is, we can show. Now it shows when they happened. Now that little recorder machine records every, you can set it to what you like, but it happens to be set every 5 seconds, and it's got you then copy it, the contents of its recording, via the USB port onto the PC. Well, this walking round near home has got 148 points on it. Now I have sort of got into the habit a bit of saying I want to show 300 points. If and when we get down to this one, 3,000 points, if I let it do all 3,000, there's 2 things. One, it would take about 3 weeks to load the thing, and it would take another sort of hour to play the thing. So I just do this on my PC. It depends on the power of your PC and the speed of your broadband, and I've found by experiment that 300's a good one. Now that every 5 seconds, what I say is I'll show you a point, I'll put a point up on the route, and then I'll move on to the next one, and if the next one is more than 1 second away from the previous one, I'll show it as well. So and then we come to the delay. Every point I do, it pauses for a moment. Now I would normally use 20 or 200 milliseconds in here, and that would make it nice and steady, but I'm going to use 2 to make it quick, so we don't waste your time on the messing about with watching the line draw slowly. So I now click here to see the route or journey. That takes me to a map, and you'll see that the map is centered on where I live, which is here. And I'll just point out to you, if you scroll down below the map, there's a little bit of story about the journey. So what I'm going to do is, so you can see the whole map, is to click here to start the journey, and you'll see the blue line is wandering around. It was my first attempt at playing with the recorder, and that's it, end of journey. Now that was sort of a 5-minute walk, and it was good, and that's simple to do. Now then I am going to show you another route. I'm going to there's one driving between home and Marina. That's got 1200 points in it, so I'm saying I only want to see 300 of them. Now remember, they're every 5 seconds there. So what I've said is I'll show you one point, I'll then look at the next, and is it 30 seconds or more from the previous? No, well, I'm not going to show it. Is it? And I'll look at the next one. I'll keep doing that until I find the first one that's 30 seconds after the previous one. So that way I'm going to be doing one in every 6 points. Again, I've made it 2 here for speed. You would make it 20 or 200, and I'm going to click here to see the route or journey, and in any second now the map will come up. It shows me at how well. Now that's something. This is what's called the zoom level, and that's zoom level 0. Then it's zoom level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is zoom level 7, and here's me, and I'm going to start the journey. Remember, it's going quick and crazy. I've driven down to Willow Tree Marina, and I've stopped to have a cup of tea there, and in a minute I shall drive off and go down to Greenford to see if Harbour Lights is open, and off I'm going, right, and I'm going down to Greenford. I'm going to see if Harbour Lights is open. It isn't, so I'm going back to Greenford, going back home, and that'll be the end of the route any second now. Come on, tell me you've finished. I've finished, so that's that one. Now we'll go again. Now this time, this is the daddy and the beauty of them all. Now make to home. This is 11:30 to 4:15 journey, long journey. I'm sticking to my 300 points, and this time I'm saying I want 2 minutes between each point shown, and the delay is going to be that. So off I go. I shall show you the journey on this. Now the zoom level is set quite low because it's a long journey, so what I'm going to do is scroll down so you can see it. The zoom level you'll see is set at 1, and I start the journey, and you can see the line coming round, and if you zoomed in when all of this is done, you'd see that's coming down the A1. So it's from Metheringham A1 down to the M25, round the M25 and home, and that's that one done. Now that's not bad, is it? And that was fairly simple, didn't do much to get to that. Now the next one, I've actually left it more or less the same as but I've made it a bit, I've slowed it down this time, but I've clicked on advanced parameters. Now the advanced parameters will let me show a start time. Well, I've said from 3:10, and the journey ends at 20 to 4, so I'm going to see the last little bit of the journey to home. So I click on see route or journey, and it's still the zoom level 1. Now there you'll see it's starting down there, and it's almost done. It's done. Now I'm going back to this one, and I'm going to show you that I've changed the zoom level to 7. I've left the date time in, right? So this time we'll be able to see a bit more detail for the end of my journey. I did click, didn't I? No, I didn't. Oh, I did. Right, so this is a bit more opened out. Oh, come on, Peter. Right, I click on start the journey, and you'll see it's starting. It's actually starting off on the M25 and wandering around, parking the car up and walking in, and switching off the thing and so on, and there's the end of journey. Now I could zoom in one and then I'd see a bit more clearly. No, yes I can. It's zoomed in and it shows you I've gone round the back and into the garage and so on. Now this time right, I'm going now to this one, which is even more interesting, and I'm going to show the advanced parameters. Now there is something called a map point, right, and this one says I'm showing it, I want it to centre the map on a different place. I want zoom level 9. I've not put a start or stop time in. I've decided I only want 160 points and 10 seconds between them, and it's the start of the Meg journey. Now this I think will impress you. Now just before we go off map point, you might want to know what a map point is. Well, I'm going to just quickly pop you onto this one, and you'll see that the eastings and the northings are changing to show where you are. You can zoom in and zoom out on this map, and you can sort of pick the place where you want to be and get your eastings and northings, and it's eastings comma space north, and that's how you do that. So anyway, we go back to this. I only want 160 points, 10 seconds between them, and what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to make this a bit steadier, and then I'm going to whiz down to the bottom, and this is going to show me the start of the journey in Meg. Well, it will when it comes up. So the map is this time centred on Metheringham, not on Northolt, which is where it's been before. I'll move it up a bit. Now I've gone too far, down a bit. Right, I'll start the journey, and I start in the Star and Garter yard, and I drive up to Mum's house and spend a moment or two there, and I then drive down to Andrew's Butcher's and get some meat. Then I go round Middle Street and along the High Street, and I pop into You actually saw me wait at the end of Middle Street. I popped into the Co-op and bought myself a bottle of Diet Coke for the journey home, and then I drove up to Dunstan Road to the bungalow, parked the car in there for a moment, and then set off from there home, and that's it. Now I reckon that's good, and we've been through all of the things that are to do with animated maps. You can go through this again if you wish, but down at the bottom of the page, the Chittering Fatman page, there are links to these pages, so there you are. That's that. So I'm going to give up now and leave you in peace. Thank you for watching. I hope it hasn't